Maybe the whole planet needs to hear.
See how that speaker's not going?
Which speaker?
Where's the speaker set up? Like, see when I'm talking, it's ringing on my mic, but it's
Yeah.
not coloring down there?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's the real tech. I don't know. I don't think any of these two are it.
Where's Tim? Up there.
Hello, Rick.
Tim's not here yet. I can hear Rick now. Jeff, can you speak? See if I can hear you.
Hi, Jeremy, Jeff here.
All right. I must have clicked the right button somewhere, so we have audio now.
I have a question. I have a question for Jeff Gross. Are you going to be at tonight's council meeting?
Yes, I will be present tonight.
Perfect. I have your Christmas present.
I'll take it. Thanks, Mike.
Only for you. Anything for you.
Tim's online.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, I apologize, I could not get out. We're doing income taxes here at Grace College, and Dr. Clock up
Well, that's
one of
fine.
the clients. So I think we can, is everybody ready? We can go ahead and begin.
I'm waiting for my computer to come up. Hang on just a second, please.
Sure.
I'll give you the word. Okay, I'm on.
Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. First of all, we'll begin, as we always have, with the Pledge of Allegiance. President, please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the
to
flag
the flag
of the United
of
States
the
of
United
America
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Based on the agenda, we now have the election of officers. And we want to
Tim, are you going to do another stout about the president?
yes, I will.
I'd make a nomination,
Second.
Tim Roberts, president.
Mike seconded.
Mike seconded.
Yeah.
I move to close nominations and vote.
Okay. Anybody second that?
If it needs a second, I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. And Rick, are you available to proceed as vice president?
Yes,
Good.
Do I hear a nomination for that?
I will second that nomination.
All in favor say aye.
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 We'll close nominations.
George.
Okay.
George was the secretary, I believe.
And since George isn't here,
Just say.
I would nominate him to remain in that position.
Second?
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Proceed with the
You have the approval of the minutes.
Mr. President, I have read the minutes and would make a motion that we approve them as submitted.
I second that.
I think Tim got frozen. So Rick, you want to call? We still have 3.
Okay. Been moved and seconded, we approve the minutes for December. Any further discussion? Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Next is the,
Are you back, Tim?
2022 meeting schedule.
Yeah, so you have the calendar for the 2022 meeting schedule in front of you. Let me know. I think we've made some adjustments for holidays. Let me know if you have any concerns, but if not, I would suggest we adopt this calendar for 2022.
Okay. Do you need a motion for that, Jeremy, or just,
Yes.
okay, I'd make a motion.
I have my audio back, or my video back. Do you have, can you hear my?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
You're
Well,
back in charge.
well, maybe not.
Oh, you're not. It's moved and seconded, we approve the schedule for 2022.
Mike. Or Rick.
Any further discussion? Questions?
No, looks like a good schedule.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Mike?
Yes, I said aye.
Okay, it's aye for me. Motion carried.
Okay.
Jim, you're on again.
Oh, good, thank you.
We're down to claims.
Jeremy, you want to walk us through the claims?
Yeah, we have a few. So some of these claims are from last month when we weren't able to have a meeting and for this month, so I'm gonna run through them. The first couple are Wessler Engineering, 2,052.50 was for ongoing design for the airport lift station. The second Wessler is also 5,768.20 is for professional services for the airport lift station. And the third one, 8,105, is also the same for professional services for the airport lift station. The two from Barnes and Thornburg, 1215 and 3550, are for professional services for legal services for the November and December, I believe. And A&Z Engineering, 3,289.69 is for ongoing 300 North design. DLZ, 3,100 is for the US 30 engineering work. Carey Excavating, 7,765 was per our easement agreement with the industrial building out at the airport. We agreed as part of them giving us the easement to connect their sewer line. We completed that portion. Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, $500 is just your yearly bond issuance for each board member. G&G Hauling, $15,560. Just the last pay application for, I think that was the last pay application for a sewer hookup on Cessna Road. The Region 750 was for a bond issue, just oversight of that bond. And then Baker Tilly, 1,318.75 is for ongoing professional services for the bond issue or discussions of development for the Redevelopment Authority lease rental bond, which is the Airport Industrial Park bond.
Jeremy, the ones at G&G Hauling,
Yeah,
that's for 802 Center Street.
yes. Yes. Our contract,
I thought I heard you say Cessna.
yeah, it had Cessna address on it. Maybe I read that wrong. But yes, it's for that pump station on 802. I must have read it wrong.
Okay,
Oh, I had the other one. I'm sorry. The Cessna one was Cary. I was looking at the wrong one.
Jeremy, can I ask a question if you're finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just briefly tell me what DLZ alignment study,
That was the US 30 alignment study.
alignment where?
That was our corridor study that we did. That we
Okay.
presented to the public of US 30.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, the one that we held out
Yes,
at the,
at the school.
okay.
Yes,
All right,
sorry.
gosh, it's been a while back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, thank you for that.
Jeremy, I also have a question on the Wessler Engineering. I noticed the three bills we have are September, November, December. Was there no activity in October?
No, one that they submitted a bill for. I mean, I'm sure they worked, but they didn't submit a claim in October.
Okay, so we're not going to get surprised with that.
Well, we might, unless we missed it. But I don't have, the bills I have are the bills they submitted, so if there's one that's missing, then we didn't get it.
Would you please have somebody check with
Yeah.
them, see if we missed
Yeah, we'll do that.
I mean, he's far enough in the rear, it's tough, but they go a little longer. Hopefully we've got them all. Okay?
I'm sure they'll let us know.
Sorry?
I'm sure they'll let us know if we missed one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure so. They'll come up, they'll find it eventually, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions?
Have they ever submitted an invoice for a month, no charge or anything like that? Just to let us know that there isn't going to be one?
No.
That might be
And
helpful.
a lot of, I mean, some of the trouble is you get them electronic, most people submit electronic bills now,
Right,
and sometimes it either goes to your trash bin, and you don't get it, which is probably why we may have paid an October bill, but it was, the September one's probably the one that got lost and that they resent us.
okay.
That's why you see a September, no October, and then November, December. My guess is we paid the October one already. The September one probably got lost and we're just now paying it.
Well, that'd be easy enough to find out.
Yep, she would. Should be. Any other questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Rick moved, I didn't hear who the second one was.
Mike.
Mike, thank you. Just clarify for a minute. Thank you. Hearing no more, does any further discussion or call for a vote? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, moving on to the agenda is a memo of understanding under new business. Walk us through that one, please.
Yes, you have before you an MOU with Biggs Indiana Properties. They're looking at developing some additional residential housing on 225 East and 75 North. This agreement would basically be between us and them. They're going to be doing the residential development. In order to get an outlet for the storm sewer, there needs to be a storm line that gets ran down 225 East, northish to Deeds Creek to provide a stormwater outfall from the development. Also, part of our agreement with them would be that at such time that they would be ready to do that phase 2 of this new development, the city would proceed with installing that storm pipe along 225 East. The funds would be paid for out of that northern residential TIF district to incentivize the development of this additional housing. I did have Scott look at this MOU, and he didn't have any issues with it.
Scott being the city attorney?
City attorney, yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Mr. Biggs is here if you have any questions of him.
The only question that came to my mind when I read this was the number of developments or homes. It says 35, roughly 35 acres, and I was wondering how many houses you think can go in there.
Yeah, thank you. Kevin Biggs, again, developer of the property, or Biggs Indian Properties is the entity we're developing under. Thanks for that question, Mike.
Yep.
35 acres, our density will be basically equivalent to the density of the development just south of there in Bella Augusta. It's a combination of single-family residential home sites, plus we'll have a little section of villa units. However, in this next phase, we believe our villas are going to be marketed as individual units instead of a duplex format. It really doesn't adjust the density very much at all. It really is about the same density. Mike, I don't have the actual number of total units that we have platted there, but I can get you that information. We do have a master platted for both phases, what we call 1 and 2 over the 35 acres.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're probably gonna be high 80s, low 90s, somewhere in that ballpark.
I think, right that range, you're going to do it over 2 phases.
Do you think it's possible next meeting, we could see a map? Because there was no map attached to this.
No, because I didn't know if you guys had the development just fully designed yet.
We don't have it fully designed,
Okay.
but I think we have it far enough along that we could show a schematic of the overall design.
That'd be great.
35 acres. We do have the phase 1 a little further advanced than the full development, so we can come up with some of these calculations.
But if you want to know where this is at, Mike, you know where Bella Augusta is at, right?
Well, I looked on a map and I was trying to figure out where this was. I know where Foster lives, and he lives right there at that intersection, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's south of there?
Here, let me see if I can pull it up for you real quick.
Any of you other people on this committee know where it is?
No.
Thanks for being here, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me.
So Bella Augusta, I want to see if I can share my screen real quick.
I'm assuming this has to be approved by the planning commission?
Yes, we are just approving the MOU with the developer and the Redevelopment Commission through that northern residential TIF to make storm improvements. at such time they would develop phase 2. So you should all be able to see my screen. Bella Augusta is the currently platted subdivision to the south, and they're going directly north of that. So where 75 north kind of dead ends into 225 east, that track to the east would be what they're proposing to be developed into a new subdivision.
Is that inside the city limits?
Yes. Yeah, we annexed that, I think 2018 or 19.
Can you zoom out a little bit? I'm trying to find a landmark there.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure where I am. I mean, I know where, okay, that helps. Point something out there, Jeremy.
This is the 2 new hotels are down here.
Okay.
So, let me see, you know where Shadow, so Old 30, Depew, so you go straight up 225, Bella Augusta is here. That new development would be directly north of Bella
Okay.
Augusta.
That helps me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you for the map, that helps.
Yeah. You need a motion on this, Jeremy?
Yeah, we're approving the MOU.
All right, I would make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between this commission and Biggs Properties LLC.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second, Mr. Rick.
Rick makes a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kev.
Moving on to the next item on the agenda is the service contract.
Yeah.
Works already development in Cornerstone.
Yes, so you have a design contract to do preliminary design for a new park that would be located out by the airport, north of the airport. The airport owns some acreage along the north side of the airport that we're looking at doing a park. And you can see in the attachment, it kind of goes through the scope of work, what this plan would look at, kind of master planning. So there are a number of things that were in the park's 5-year projects, 5-year plan. And there was a number of items that were identified when they went through the public process of different things that the community, we'd like to see our community have that we may not have. Some of those things include 18-hole disc golf course, an area for like ultimate frisbee, a rugby field, a cricket field, some additional tennis courts, lacrosse field. We're also looking at a potential area where we could maybe do movie nights within the city. So different larger open area type activities. So we've been looking at a place for this for some time. We looked at a couple of different options, and we're currently kind of landed on this 62 acres out by the airport. I would like to start the kind of the master plan development of this, and so what this contract would do would take into consideration all these different kind of activities that were kind of identified within that parks plan, and see how they would fit within this 62 acre parcel.
Okay.
It is currently within the Northern TIF district, so certainly it's something we can fund. From a economic development standpoint, I know the question was kind of asked, how does this benefit the city? Obviously, as we bring in different events or different community events, that would help recruit, grow our community, but also bring in outsiders to the community. Like if you have a disc golf tournament or if you had a cricket tournament, those would bring outside individuals to the community. It would obviously enhance our recreational opportunities for the people living in this community and help grow our community in the future. So there's a lot of economic advantages to offering these types of activities, not only to the people that are in the community, but to the people that we're trying to bring to the community as we grow and need more jobs. So there's a lot of economic advantages to these types of recreational activities.
Jeremy, how's this gonna impact our airport?
It's not, they don't plan on having anything out there. It'll all be passive activities. So it's not, we're not talking about a lot of buildings. We're talking about green space, some fields. There will be a restroom, and maybe a shelter and some playground, but for the most part, it's pretty active, passive activities. So there's nothing that's gonna be large buildings. We've been doing this alongside them, for the last 6 months. So Nick and the airport board's aware of what we're working on, working with them and the Parks Department and kind of exploring this option.
All right.
So the contract you have before you is for $25,800. And like I said, it will provide us kind of a master plan at the end that we can use to potentially go out and see what funding opportunities there are to start this park.
Looks like Tim's frozen again.
Tim, you frozen? Yeah, it looks like he's frozen. Is there any questions on the park itself, or I guess any concerns, or on the contract, or what we're trying to do? How many of you are familiar with the park's 5-year plan? I know Jeff is, Jeremy is. So, you know, part of the items that were identified within that 5-year plan was, while we have a lot of recreational space, we are somewhat undersized in actual recreational space. And then some of these, I should say, almost more free space opportunities, like your ultimate frisbee and your lacrosse, your rugby, just kind of some open field type activities that we don't really have the space for. This park would meet a lot of those needs.
I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm in Grace College in occupational. Almost near the basketball center is where the communications for Wi-Fi is not real good in this area. Sorry, didn't know that until it sat down. Anyhow, did we get a nomination or a motion to accept that?
No. Jeremy, why
Yeah.
is this in our wheelhouse? I mean, tell me why. Explain how this fits into our directive and our, you know, what we do as Redevelopment Commission. Because this is really unusual, I think, to come to us with a proposal to fund a park when,
Oddly enough, we have not done a lot of these, right? But I will tell you, what was the first project done by the Redevelopment Commission? Center Park. That was the entire redevelopment project.
see, that was before my time.
Yes, so, no, we have not done a lot of these since then, right? But is this within the Redevelopment Commission's wheelhouse? Absolutely. This is probably one of the, or obviously a major economic development driver is opportunities, recreational opportunities, any kind of incentive that makes your community better. That's what we're here for. Center Park was the first redevelopment project ever completed by the city of Warsaw. So can we do parks? Absolutely.
Jeremy, would you consider this in the same category as the bike lanes that you've helped develop?
Oh, yeah, whether you're talking about, yeah, really, economic development's a pretty broad subject, right? I mean, obviously, we're creating jobs, but you're also trying to incentivize growth and development within your community. You're trying to incentivize keeping people here, what keeps people here. People want to be in a community they have opportunities to do a lot of different things with. Whether it be, cricket or rugby or lacrosse or ultimate frisbee, or disc golf. I know that Lucerne Park's disc golf has been used widely, so much so that they're trying to make that an 18-hole. And I've received about a dozen emails just on just the proposal of doing a park out here with disc golf. So just things like that make your community stronger, make it more inviting, and help you in economic development as you're trying to bring companies in and expand existing companies. So I know it's a little odd, but it absolutely is something the Redevelopment Commission can do, and has been something the Redevelopment Commission has supported in the past.
No, that is true. We have supported it. We identified several things. So, any further discussion?
Jeremy, is this proposal, this map here, I see a concept A and a concept B.
This was put in there just to kind of give you an idea. So we drew these up and took them to the park board and to the airport to give them an idea of kind of what we were looking at wanting to do in this area. And a lot of it is just having some passive open space that we really don't have within our park system. Having these larger kind of field opportunities. This will be dog friendly. They'll have to be on a leash, so it's not a dog park, but it will be dog friendly, something we don't have within our parks departments now. So just trying to fill a lot of those gaps that we don't really have within our parks and fitting them within their 5-year master plan, and then trying to make some improvements and create some new opportunities recreationally for our community.
And what about maintenance? I don't see any maintenance buildings. How are you going to get equipment out there? How are you going to
There is, it's really small on here, so yes, that's all in here. It's not real. You can kind of see there's a couple of black boxes, those kind of represent buildings. This wasn't really meant to be the plan.
Okay.
We kind of conceptually drew up some things so we could show the Parks Board and the airport board, so they understood what we were looking at. But that's what this contract would be. This is more showing kind of all the activities we'd like to incorporate into this area. The plan will come from the document that you would approve today if you so choose. They'll be developing this plan in relationship to us and the Park Board, and then we'll get that out for community input and so forth. So it'll be kind of a planning exercise within the departments, and then we'll get that out to the community to have input on.
Jeremy, what will the Parks Department participation be in this project?
Obviously, it will be part of the Parks Department, so long-term maintenance and all that will be under their wheelhouse. One thing redevelopment commissions cannot do is maintain. So we build, but we don't maintain. So it will fall between the Parks Department. I know that they've had some conversations with the airport, because right now the airport kind of manages that property. So the airport may do some of the maintenance to help them out, but that will be between the Parks Department and the airport. We wouldn't be maintaining this property after it would be developed.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to clarify that.
This is not us looking at funding at this point. This is looking at developing a master plan and then going out and seeking out funding opportunities for potentially portions. It's not necessarily our intent to do all of this at once. So I think we're kind of maybe looking at different activities and seeking out community support for those activities. So if we were to say, here's the activities, here's the plan, we would maybe go after support for funding certain segments of the plan. So it may be over a 3 or 5 year plan to put this together. It's not something that's going to be done in 1 year. Obviously, there's no sewer out there, although we are currently putting a lift station that will allow easy access to sewer. But there's no sewer out there, so restrooms, we'd have to run sewer lines. So a lot of different components. We're just kind of entering into that initial kind of master plan step. And what we would like to achieve from this, I want a cohesive plan for this park. I don't want something that's just kind of patchwork. This is why I wanted to go this route with this contract. I want us to put all the pieces together and then move through that project cohesively and not kind of patchwork. I don't want it to look like we forgot things along the way.
Well, Jeremy, you can probably tell I'm a bit skeptical on this project, but with that said, I don't want to be the one to stand in the way of progress, and I think the only way that we're going to know whether this is going to work for the city is to probably fund this study to find out. So.
Yeah, I don't want to, the study is going to draw up the plan, and it's going to give us some costs, and then we're going to have to go out and figure out what's feasible, right? So step one is drawing up the plan, step two is identifying the costs and the funding of the project.
And Jeremy, just to clarify again, the city already owns this property.
That's correct, yes.
It's airport property.
It's airport property, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to seem like this is just something that happened. I mean, I've been talking with various entities on some of these recreational opportunities that we don't have for 3 or 4 years now. I've been talking to different groups that would support the development of this park. So I think there's some things in the background that we've done that's gotten us to this point. And we're going to, once we kind of know what direction we'd like to go, we kind of put this on a piece of paper and say this is what the community wants to see. Then we can go out and look at funding some of these different segments.
I agree. I think the funding will be where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Okay? Any further questions, discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Need a motion?
I need a nomination first, I guess.
I move to accept.
The Gross move to accept. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Rick seconds. Okay. If there's not any further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. We'll follow this and see where it goes once we have a master plan to look at.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
keep you in the loop as we proceed.
Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is resolution, Indiana Development Commission, approving amendments to declaratory resolution and redevelopment plan for Winona interurban redevelopment area for the purpose of establishing a new allocation area and related matters.
Yeah, so you have resolution 2022-0201 before you. This is concerning what is more or less known as the marketplace of Warsaw. We brought this into the Winona interurban TIF district around 2019. Obviously, a lot has changed since that time. A number of the stores went out. The property was recently sold at an auction and has been purchased. We're working with that developer on a potential rehabilitation of the marketplace. As part of that plan, we would need to re-amend this TIF district, which would basically kind of pull this property out and put it back in as a new TIF district area. And what that does is two things. So since we brought this in 2019, some of the store closures have actually drastically devalued that property, which has been detrimental to the existing Winona interurban TIF, meaning that other increment we would have captured has not been captured because this property continues to lose value, offsetting any increment that would have been gained. So there's two things that are happening here. One, we're more or less resetting the lifespan on this to the 25 years, and then resetting the assessed valuation to its current assessed valuation in 2022. Moving forward, independent of that is our negotiations and conversations with the developer of the marketplace, which we have not finalized that yet, but would come before you at such time we did finalize what that looks like. But this would be the first step in that process, but also would be beneficial simply because it has a negative impact on our current TIF district. Hopefully I haven't confused you.
So in essence, we're just revaluing the TIF district to be able to reclaim the increments, upward increments, as it becomes developed.
Yeah, only specific to, and you have the legal descriptions in here, that marketplace of Warsaw, so only specific to that shopping center. So we brought in that area in 2019, we're basically more or less cutting this shopping center out and resetting it based on 2022 assessed valuation and a lifespan of 25 years.
Right. Any questions about this?
As I understand it, the funding for the improvements on this shopping center are yet to be determined, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, so this, we're gonna do this regardless, so, and that's why you have this before you and not the other part of it. Originally, we were trying to kind of encompass all of it together. But it's in our best interest to reset that property's assessed valuation, because it has lost millions over the last 3 years. Because of the Carson going out, Sears, all those businesses going out have basically devalued that property pretty significantly. So even if we don't, to answer Rick's question, even if we don't come to an agreement with the marketplace on what our contribution looks like, Rick, we would still do this regardless. It's in our best interest to do it.
Okay.
We're looking at Pier 1 came out of there, and Dunham soon will be.
Yeah.
Any further questions regarding that?
So Jeremy, I'm probably ignorant here, but how do we reset the value? Isn't that done by county assessor?
Yes, they've already done it.
They've
All we're
already
doing
done it.
is we're extracting it from the existing TIF and resetting it for 2022.
Okay. Is there a, like a 30-day waiting period, or can you just do it today, both steps?
Well, it'll go through the normal process. So today, Plan Commission, City Council, back to the Redevelopment Commission.
Okay,
Same process.
okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve or table or whatever your desire.
I move to approve resolution 2022-0201.
Jeff Gross makes a motion to approve.
I would second.
Mike Banderas made the motion second, if I heard that correctly.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for the discussion.
Thank you.
Is there any other business to come before this illustrious group?
I don't have anything unless any of you have any questions. I'm sure you have a lot of questions on the Marketplace project. We're still working on it. I think we're getting closer. I'm hoping, definitely by the March meeting, we'll have a more in-depth conversation and maybe be starting that process. If we have to, we may move some of our schedules around to accommodate that process as we put it together. So I'll keep you in the loop moving forward on that, but I think we're getting closer.
Okay.
Any updates on the Gatkey property, Jeremy?
We have a rough draft of an MOU that we worked on. I was going to have it on today's agenda, but we're still, I don't know if you've been following the READY program, the READY grant. We're still trying to figure out how that's going to work, so we were holding off on that MOU till we get some more information on what and how that's going to work. Because right now, I think there's a lot of, like I said, I don't know how up to date you guys are on the READY grant, but there's a lot of confusion across the state on what the intent was versus what actually can be done. It was, no one knew at the time that they were using ARP money. And all the projects that were submitted across the state are not ARP eligible. So all these communities had these plans and projects, and the state was giving ARP money and none of it's eligible. So we're still trying to figure out what that looks like.
What agency is in charge of ironing out those details?
The IEDC.
That may take a while.
Yeah, so they've had a couple of meetings with the regional groups. So far, the feedback's been kind of hit or miss. I'm not going to say I'm that up on it because I only hear what I'm hearing through bits and pieces. But basically, what I'm hearing is that it is ARP money, and I don't know how that fits into any of the projects that were submitted.
Okay.
So the state's either gonna have to relook at it, or each region's gonna have to reevaluate what types of projects they were looking to do.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, either way, someone's going back to the drawing board. I don't know who yet.
Any other updates on any of the other projects? Any projects you're working on?
Yeah, probably a lot. Too many to keep track of. Arnault property, I know the state bid out the environmental work. We're still trying to get the demolition bid out, so hopefully we'll have that done in the next month. So they'll be starting the environmental cleanup on the Arnault property. And just let you know where we're at in the MLU on the Gatkey. The Owens project, we've had a couple of project meetings with the developer, so we're getting closer to putting that project together. We have some conversations we need to have with some other potential players in that project development. Buffalo Street, I know we're still waiting on some engineering work to be done there for the mixed-use building. So hopefully that will be done in the next couple of months. So, yeah, lots of projects.
Yep.
Jeremy, I haven't heard anything lately about the tech park. Has anyone expressed any interest in the tech park lately?
We've had a couple of conversations.
Okay,
Yeah, there's interest. I know we've got one property that's being vetted pretty heavily for how it will fit, how it will work. So,
good.
yeah,
It's been a tough couple years.
it's been a challenging couple of years.
It has. I see it, you know, everywhere. My business, city business, talking to people. People are tired.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate any more spec buildings out in the industrial park?
I do. We've had some preliminary talks, so I think at some point we will be doing another spec building. I know with the Winona PVD buildings, we're gonna work hard to get those occupied before we do a spec building, so, right now we're working on that, and then we'll have some conversations about, once those are occupied, we'll have some conversations about, potential for a third spec building.
Excellent. Anything else? Any other questions for Jeremy while we have him captured here?
It's a quiet group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a quiet one.
Good thing I'm here.
Can always count on you, Mike.
I'd make a motion to end this meeting.
We have a motion to adjourn. Can I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
For
everyone.
your patience, and look forward to meeting with you again.
Sounds good.
Jim will sign the,
Thank you, everybody.
vouchers.
I will probably be in tomorrow to sign vouchers.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have them ready for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.